Welcome back. Today, we're about to uncover one of the most iconic and emotionally charged coins in American history, the Kennedy half dollar. This isn't just a piece of currency. It's a national symbol, a tribute to a fallen leader, and for collectors, it's a glittering opportunity hiding in plain sight. We're diving deep into the most valuable Kennedy half dollar coins ever struck. Those rare, elusive beauties that are commanding astonishing prices in today's action-packed collector market. So whether you're sifting through rolls from the bank or rummaging through your childhood coin stash, what we reveal today might just transform your collection or your fortune. Let's get started. First up, the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar. This coin, especially in its unique yellow dirty condition, isn't just a piece of pocket change. It's a historical time capsule, a golden relic of American ambition, tragedy, and rebirth, one that could secretly be worth a small fortune in today's booming collector's market. Whether you're dusting off an old coin jar or rummaging through inherited change, this is one coin you don't want to ignore. Let's take a closer look at why this yellow-tinted 1969 D half dollar could turn out to be your golden ticket to thousands of dollars. History and background. The story of the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar begins with heartbreak and hope. In the wake of President John F. Kennedy's tragic assassination in November 1963, America was desperate to commemorate the fallen leader in a meaningful way. That desire gave birth to the Kennedy half dollar, first minted in 1964 and instantly embraced by the public. So beloved was Kennedy that people hoarded the coins as keepsakes, rarely letting them circulate. By 1969, America was nearing the end of an era. The final year the half dollar would be struck in 40% silver before transitioning fully to copper-nickel clad in 1971. The Denver Mint produced over 129 million of these coins. But here's the twist. Many of them were melted down, damaged, or lost to time. Today, a surviving 1969 D. Kennedy half in unique conditions, like the dirty yellowed tint often caused by oxidation or poor storage, can make collectors pause and pay serious cash. Unique features of the coin. Let's zoom in on what makes this coin pop. On the obverse, you'll find the iconic left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His resolute gaze, the sharply defined jawline, and that unmistakable hair, it's a portrait filled with legacy and ambition. Above his head arcs the word liberty, while below sits the solemn year 1969, and the motto, "In God We Trust," spans across the bottom. Just to the left of Kennedy's neck is the small yet crucial D mint mark, denoting the Denver Mint as the origin of this collectible beauty. Flip the coin to the reverse, and you'll be greeted by a stunning heraldic eagle designed by Frank Gasparo. The eagle's wings are spread in strength and vigilance, clutching arrows and an olive branch in its talons, with a shield over its chest symbolizing defense and unity. Above its head, a glorious ring of 13 stars and the motto, E Pluribus Unum. Surrounding the majestic eagle are the inscriptions, United States of America and half dollar. This design, shimmering with patriotism and crafted in 40% silver, gives the coin a metallic gleam that, when aged and tarnished, can transform into an eerie, golden yellow hue, a color that collectors know often signals hidden value. Rarity and condition for collector demand. While the 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar had a high mintage, few examples survived in pristine or even decent condition due to massive circulation, mishandling, and public indifference during the later years. What makes the yellow dirty versions particularly rare is not just their aged patina, but their uniqueness. The yellowish tint, caused by sulfur exposure, poor storage, or environmental oxidation, gives the coin a golden ghost appearance, setting it apart from its silver-toned peers. To collectors, these off-color pieces can sometimes hint at chemical transformations or storage conditions that elevate their desirability. But rarity isn't just about looks. A 1969 D in uncirculated condition, MS65 or higher, is already a tough find. But when you combine it with an unusual patina, strong luster, and full strike features like bold hairlines and clean rims, you've got a serious contender in the numismatic world. In dirty circulated condition with a yellow hue, the coin might appear unimpressive to the untrained eye, but to a seasoned collector or auction house, that could translate into a major opportunity. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC often report surprising sales for high-grade, uniquely toned examples, especially with strong provenance. Current market value in dollars. Now here's where things get exciting. A standard 1969 D. Kennedy half dollar in average circulated condition is worth around $5 to $10 due to its silver content alone. But if your coin shows a yellowed tone, unusual coloration, or unique surface characteristics, especially with full details and minimal wear, it could be worth significantly more. Collectors sometimes pay $50 to $150 for attractive, tonally unique specimens, especially if they photograph well for listings or fill specific collection niches. Move up to coins graded MS65 to MS67, and you're talking $500 to $1,500 at auction. Some exceptionally rare or color-toned coins have crossed $2,000 or more in premium sales, especially those with deep golden or rainbow toning combined with pristine luster and flawless strikes. Even dirty yellow examples that are visually striking or have fascinating backstories, like being found in a war veteran's safe or an antique box, have been known to generate fierce bidding wars online. To put it plainly, your yellow-tinted 1969 D. Kennedy half-dollar might not look like much, but it could be hiding serious value beneath that tarnish. Don't overlook it. Get it appraised, photographed, and, if worthy, submitted for professional grading. Tips for collectors and conclusion. If you're a collector or just starting your journey into the world of coin hunting, here are some quick tips. First, always inspect your Kennedy halves under good lighting, especially those with odd colors. Yellow or dirty tones might be environmental damage, but they can also be clues to aging silver that sets your coin apart. Second, consider investing in a jeweler's loupe or a digital microscope to study the finer details, such as hairlines, die marks, or rim dings. These tiny features often make the difference between $10 and $1,000. And third, protect your finds. Store your half-dollars in acid-free flips or capsules, and avoid harsh cleaning methods that can instantly destroy numismatic value. Let the natural patina tell its story, because in many cases, that dirt is worth dollars. To wrap it all up, the 1969 D. Kennedy half-dollar in yellow dirty condition is more than a forgotten piece of pocket change. It's a whisper from history, a silver coin with a golden glow, and potentially a hidden gem waiting to change someone's life. If you've got one tucked away, take a closer look, because the next big coin jackpot might be sitting in your palm right now. Next up, the 1996 Kennedy half-dollar with the Philadelphia P. mint mark, especially those found in damaged, circulated condition. At first glance, this coin might look rough, scratched, dulled, even dirty from decades of passing through countless hands. But don't be fooled. Beneath that wear and tear lies a story of American pride, artistic brilliance, and potential value that could turn your everyday change into real money. This isn't just another 50-cent piece. This is a legacy coin with hidden power in today's action-packed collector's market. So let's dive deep into why the 1996 P. Kennedy half-dollar might just be the gold mine hiding in your coin jar. History and background. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most iconic coins in American history, introduced in 1964 as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy, just months after his tragic assassination. Designed to honor his legacy and calm a grieving nation, the coin quickly became a symbol of hope, remembrance, and national unity. Fast forward to 1996, and the coin was celebrating over 3 decades of circulation, a milestone that came at a time when the Kennedy half-dollar was no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. By the 1990s, most Americans had stopped using half-dollars for change, which meant that many of these coins, especially the 1996 P edition, were produced in lower demand, distributed primarily for collectors, casinos, and banking use rather than general circulation. That makes surviving examples, especially in circulated condition with visible damage, all the more fascinating and potentially highly collectible in today's market. Unique features of the coin. The 1996 Kennedy half-dollar is a visual tribute to classic American coin design. The obverse front features the powerful and dignified profile of President John F. Kennedy, sculpted by artist Gilroy Roberts. His forward-facing gaze exudes confidence and optimism, perfectly capturing the spirit of the 35th president. Around the top edge of the coin is the word liberty, and just below Kennedy's chin is the phrase, "In God We Trust," a constant on all U.S. currency. Anchoring the bottom is the date, 1996, and to the right of Kennedy's neck is the all-important P mint mark, denoting it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Flip the coin to the reverse, and you'll find a majestic heraldic eagle design by Frank Gasparo. The eagle spreads its wings wide, gripping an olive branch in one talon to symbolize peace, and a bundle of arrows in the other to symbolize strength. A patriotic shield sits on its chest, and above the eagle's head, a scroll bears the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Surrounding the eagle are 13 stars, representing the original colonies, and the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. The entire composition screams American pride, resilience, and unity, qualities that still resonate today. What makes your damaged, circulated version special is its journey. Every scratch, nick, and bit of surface discoloration tells a story, a life lived in the hands of Americans over nearly 3 decades. And believe it or not, some collectors specifically seek out worn or damaged coins for artistic purposes, toning studies, or even out of curiosity for potential mint errors hidden beneath the grime. Rarity and condition for collector demand. You might be asking, is my scratched up, dirty-looking 1996 Kennedy half dollar really worth anything? The answer, it depends, and possibly yes. The Philadelphia Mint struck just over 24 million Kennedy half dollars in 1996, a significantly lower number compared to the massive mintages of earlier decades. While that may sound like a lot, many of these coins were never circulated, stored away in mint sets or collections, and forgotten. That means true circulated examples, particularly in worn, tarnished, or battle-hardened condition, are less common today than you might expect. Interestingly, the U.S. Mint also released a special 1996 mint set that included a commemorative Roosevelt dime with a W mint mark from West Point, making that year's set highly collectible. As a result, the 1996 Kennedy half from the Philadelphia Mint got extra attention. Still, not every 1996 P half dollar made it into a collector's album. Some ended up circulating, accumulating nicks, discoloration, and signs of long-term use. These damaged coins now stand out because they tell a different story, one of real-world utility rather than numismatic perfection. If your coin has damage but also shows signs of mint errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks, it could be extremely valuable, even in low-grade condition. Additionally, unusual toning like golden, purplish, or rainbow hues, even on circulated examples, has been known to skyrocket the coin's desirability among collectors who crave uniqueness. Current market value in dollars. Here comes the money talk, and you might be surprised. In typical circulated condition, a 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar is usually worth around $1 to $3, primarily due to collector interest rather than silver content, as these coins are clad, not silver. However, if your coin shows unusual damage, environmental toning, or is linked to a mint error, prices can climb significantly. Coins with eye-catching coloration, like deep gold or yellowish tones caused by environmental exposure, can sell for $10 to $30 on online marketplaces like eBay, especially if accompanied by high-quality photos and a good backstory. Now, move into mint state condition, MS65 or better, and you're looking at coins valued between $20 to $75, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. While truly high-grade examples, MS67 and above, from the Philadelphia Mint are scarce, they've been known to reach auction values of $300 or more, and that's not even counting rarities like double die errors or off-metal strikes. For circulated, damaged coins like yours, the value lies in unique visual characteristics, possible hidden mint anomalies, and of course, collector curiosity. A coin that's ugly by some standards might be considered one-of-a-kind artwork by another, especially in the world of numismatics. Tips for collectors and conclusion. So what should you do if you have a damaged, circulated 1996 P. Kennedy half dollar? First, don't clean it. Cleaning can actually lower the value. Instead, store it safely in a soft pouch or plastic flip and inspect it under a magnifying glass. Look for odd features, doubling on the lettering, unusual edge marks, or color shifts. If anything stands out, consider having the coin appraised by a local coin dealer or sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Sometimes, the smallest detail can unlock the biggest payday. The 1996 Kennedy half dollar with the Philadelphia Mint mark, even in damaged, dirty, or circulated condition, holds real potential in today's market. It's a symbol of American history, a tribute to a beloved president, and possibly a hidden treasure in your collection. Whether it's worth a few bucks or a few hundred, one thing's for sure. This coin has a story to tell, and someone out there is willing to pay for it. Next up, the 1981 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark, struck in very fine condition. While it may not shimmer with silver like its earlier relatives, this coin holds immense value due to its rarity in circulation, its unique historical place in numismatic history, and its growing collector demand today. Many people pass over Kennedy half dollars without a second glance, unaware that some, like the 1981 D in well-preserved condition, could be worth far more than face value. If you've got one in your collection, or even better, found one in your change, you might be sitting on a hidden gem in the modern rare coin market. Let's dive deep into the compelling story and value of this powerful coin. History and background. The Kennedy half dollar has long been a symbol of both American legacy and modern design. First introduced in 1964 to honor the life and assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the coin quickly became a cherished memento among Americans. However, by the early 1980s, the Kennedy half dollar was experiencing a major shift. By 1981, the U.S. Mint was producing half dollars almost exclusively for collectors, not for general circulation. That makes this year particularly important in numismatic history. The demand for the denomination was declining in public commerce, and banks stopped routinely ordering half dollars. Most of the 1981 D. Kennedy halves were distributed as part of mint sets, sealed, uncirculated collections sold directly to collectors. So if you find one today in very fine condition, it likely escaped those sets and managed to survive in circulation, a rare feat in and of itself. Produced at the Denver Mint, the 1981 D edition represents the last year of widespread mint set production before a long pause. From 1982 until 1991, the U.S. Mint stopped including half dollars in standard mint sets, making the 1981 Kennedy half the final installment of an era. For this reason alone, the 1981 D is a must-have for collectors looking to complete full-date and mint-mark sets. Unique features of the coin. The 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar is a marvel of mid-century design and enduring presidential tribute. On the obverse, you're greeted by the bold, left-facing portrait of John F. Kennedy, etched with fine details that capture both the strength and serenity of the young president. Designed by Gilroy Roberts, the design features his wavy hair, proud jawline, and iconic profile. Arched above the head is the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" stretches across his neck. Just below the neck is the date, 1981, and on the right side of the neckline, you'll find the small yet significant D mint mark, confirming it was struck in Denver. Flip to the reverse, and you'll witness one of the most regal images in U.S. coinage, a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of both war readiness and peace. The eagle's body is protected by a shield, while its beak holds a banner reading, E Pluribus Unum. Above its head float 13 stars, representing the original American colonies, all surrounded by rays and encircled with the words United States of America and half dollar. The designer, Frank Gasparo, created a reverse that remains virtually unchanged to this day, a testament to its power and beauty. In very fine condition, this coin still displays strong detail in Kennedy's facial features and the eagle's feathers, with only minor wear on the high points. The coin's color might carry a soft golden tint or natural patina, both signs of respectful aging that can enhance visual appeal and collector value. Rarity and condition for collector demand. Although more than 13 million Kennedy half dollars were struck at the Denver Mint in 1981, their journey was different from most coins. Unlike coins meant for mass commerce, most of the 1981 D half dollars were only available in official U.S. Mint sets, not through banks or public distribution. This unusual distribution path meant that very few coins ever entered everyday use. That's why finding a circulated 1981 D Kennedy half, especially in very fine, VF, or better condition, is highly unusual and sought after. These coins had to escape sealed mint sets, circulate without being heavily damaged, and still maintain most of their design elements. That makes them scarce survivors, and collectors are on the hunt. The real kicker? After 1981, the U.S. Mint stopped including Kennedy half dollars in mint sets for 10 years, from 1982 to 1991. This made the 1981 D not only the last of its era, but also a key date for anyone building a complete Kennedy half dollar set. The very fact that your coin exists in a very fine condition today means it beat the odds, which is exactly what collectors love, survival against all expectations. Current market value in dollars. Let's talk dollars, and you might want to sit down for this. While a typical 1981 D Kennedy half dollar in well-worn condition may fetch only $1 to $2, a coin in very fine VF20, VF30 condition like yours can command a premium, especially if the coin retains strong design features, an attractive natural color, and a clean strike. In today's collector's market, these coins often sell for $10 to $25, and that's just the beginning. Move up a notch to extremely fine XF, or about uncirculated AU, and the values rise to $30 to $75. A mint state 1981 D coin in MS65 or better especially one with brilliant luster, no spots, and a sharp strike, can bring in $150 to $300, depending on market trends and bidding interest. In rare cases where a coin has exceptional toning or is part of a known hoard with provenance, values have pushed up toward the $500 mark. That's right. A coin you once thought was worth just 50 cents could turn into a collector's dream worth hundreds. Furthermore, if your coin features mint errors, such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or doubled dies, those factors can dramatically multiply its value. These error coins are even more prized when paired with an uncommon date like 1981 and could fetch $1,000 or more, depending on rarity and eye appeal. Tips for collectors and conclusion. If you're lucky enough to own a 1981 D. Kennedy half dollar in very fine condition, congratulations. You're holding a time capsule from the last breath of a numismatic era. Protect it well. Never clean the coin, even if it looks a bit dull or tarnished. Instead, store it in a non-PVC plastic holder or acid-free flip to preserve its integrity. Consider comparing it to certified examples graded by PCGS or NGC to get an idea of whether it's worth submitting for grading yourself. Collectors love coins that tell stories, and your 1981 D. Kennedy half has one written across every rim ding, every nick, and every glint of original shine. It represents the fading days of traditional mint sets, the enduring legacy of President Kennedy, and a transitional moment in U.S. coinage history. These are the kinds of coins that often go unnoticed, but for those who know, they're worth more than just money. They're history you can hold in your hand. Next up, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark, discovered in very good condition. This is not just a half dollar. It's the very first of a new era, a coin that marked the end of silver and the rise of copper-nickel clad coinage. But don't let its clad composition fool you. This piece is a powerful blend of history, design, and scarcity, and in today's fast-moving collector's market, it could be worth far more than just 50 cents. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who stumbled across a 1971 D half dollar with that smooth, aged patina and bold profile, stay tuned. You may just be holding a valuable treasure worth big money. History and background. The Kennedy half dollar was introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, as a heartfelt tribute to the 35th President of the United States. Its release stirred the emotions of a grieving nation and sparked immediate hoarding by citizens who didn't want to spend the coin, but keep it as a token of remembrance. From 1964 through 1970, the Kennedy half dollar was minted with silver, first 90%, then reduced to 40% from 1965 to 1970. But by 1971, everything changed. Rising silver prices, dwindling reserves, and mounting production costs forced the U.S. Mint to eliminate silver from circulating half dollars completely. That makes the 1971 Kennedy half dollar the first to be struck in copper-nickel clad, signaling the start of a new era in American coinage. The 1971 D half dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, and this release came during a time when half dollars were becoming increasingly rare in everyday transactions. Most people simply weren't using them anymore, which meant that even though millions were minted, few remained in consistent circulation. Today, finding a 1971 D half dollar in very good condition, with legible lettering, full date, and visible design features, is not only nostalgic, it's surprisingly valuable to the right collector. Unique features of the coin. Let's look closely at this remarkable coin. On the obverse, you'll see the proud, stoic portrait of John F. Kennedy, created by renowned engraver Gilroy Roberts. Kennedy faces left, his hair finely sculpted, eyes focused, an expression carved with determination. Around the top rim curves the word Liberty, while below his neckline sits the national motto, In God We Trust. The date, 1971, is anchored firmly beneath Kennedy's chin and beside his neckline, just above the date. You'll spot the tiny but all-important D mint mark, identifying the Denver Mint as the origin of this particular treasure. Flip it over, and you're greeted by a striking reverse design that roars with patriotic energy. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the image features a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, holding an olive branch in one talon to symbolize peace and a bundle of arrows in the other to signify military strength. A shield protects its chest, and above the eagle's head floats a circle of 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. The Latin motto, E pluribus unum, flows across a banner held in the eagle's beak, reminding us that, out of many, one. Surrounding the edge are the inscriptions, United States of America and half dollar. What makes the 1971 D edition truly special is not just its design, but its composition, no silver at all, just a layered blend of copper and nickel that gave it a new look and feel. In very good condition, your coin still retains much of its design detail, even if worn from circulation. The lettering remains readable, the portrait is intact, and the reverse still displays the proud eagle and clear motifs, characteristics that collectors pay attention to in the current market. Rarity and condition for collector demand. You may be wondering, how can a coin minted in the hundreds of millions be rare? Here's the twist. While the Denver Mint produced over 302 million 1971 D. Kennedy half dollars, the vast majority were heavily circulated, damaged, or melted down over the decades. Many more were simply lost, discarded, or forgotten in drawers, leaving relatively few examples in collectible, very good, or better condition. Collectors often overlook this date due to its lack of silver, but that's changing fast. As demand grows for full date and mint mark sets, coins like the 1971 D are becoming key first-year clad entries. Coin enthusiasts love transition years, the moments where metal content, design tweaks, or production processes shift. And because the 1971 half was the first of the copper-nickel clad era, it holds historic significance that's only now being fully appreciated by younger collectors and numismatists alike. Even in very good VG condition, where moderate wear is evident, but the overall design is still visible, your 1971 D is considered a solid collector coin. The fact that it survived decades of handling with its identity and features intact adds to its desirability. And here's something few people know. A small number of 1971 D. Kennedy half dollars were mistakenly struck on leftover silver planchets from 1970. If your coin is heavier than the typical 11.34 grams, it might be one of those extremely rare silver errors, potentially worth thousands. Current market value in dollars. So, let's get to the exciting part. How much is your coin worth today? A standard 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar in very good condition generally trades between $1.50 and $3, depending on overall eye appeal. But don't stop there. Coins with exceptional surfaces, clear mint marks, or unique toning, such as golden, coppery, or rainbow-like hues, can easily fetch $5 to $15 in the right circles. Move up in quality to extremely fine, XF, or about uncirculated, AU, condition, and the value jumps to $20 to $50, especially if the coin has attractive luster or has been stored well. Certified examples graded MS65 or higher can reach $150 to $300, with some special varieties or stunningly toned pieces reaching even higher. Now, here's the big one. If your 1971 D is one of the error coins struck on a 40% silver planchet, you could be looking at a value of $1,000 to $5,000 or more, depending on weight, authentication, and grade. These silver errors are extremely rare, but they do exist, and they're among the most thrilling finds in Kennedy half-dollar collecting. So what should you do if you've got a 1971 D. Kennedy half dollar in very good condition? First, don't clean it. Cleaning can strip the surface and ruin any collectible value. Instead, keep it stored in a protective holder, such as a mylar flip or airtight capsule. Next, weigh it carefully. If it comes in over 11.34 grams, get it tested for silver content by a professional coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even without a silver error, your coin could be part of a rising trend. This coin marks a historic transformation in American currency, the end of the silver era and the beginning of the clad generation. As more collectors began assembling full Kennedy sets from 1964 to the present, the 1971 D becomes a must-have, not just for its date, but for its symbolic value. It's a bridge between two worlds, silver and clad, circulation and collection, memory and movement. And in today's coin market, bridges like that are worth real dollars. Thanks for joining us on this numismatic adventure. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a story from the fascinating world of rare coins. Got a Kennedy half you're curious about? Drop a comment. We might just feature it next.